Us News Hour, where gaming is everything. I am your host, Drew Frayer, joined as always with my co-host, Eric Rubino, and we are joined also by Alex Young over Skype to discuss the latest news developments in the gaming industry. Now, Eric, what's our first news item for today?
Well, we got a lot of news this week, actually, but let's start off with some good news. Halo 3 is free for Xbox Live Gold members. It started last Tuesday, I think. I don't know who has Xbox Live and doesn't have Halo 3. But hey, not complaining. It's
You're
a free
in luck.
game. Another 3, Galactic Civilizations 3, has been announced by Stardock as a part of the developer/publisher's 20th anniversary. I've never played Galactic Civilizations. Alex, have you tried it?
Oh yeah. I love those 4X space sims. I love those things. I thought 2 was pretty good. 1 was alright. It's no Sins of a Solar Empire, but...
Oh, well, sounds exciting then. In other new game news, Civ 5 has 2 new map packs. They're a little bit higher priced though, at $4.99 each. I mean, the game on sale is like $7.50. So, I mean, why do they cost so much? I mean, there's Scrambled Nations and Scrambled Contents. What exactly does that mean?
Do you know how many maps you get per pack?
It's 2. It's a 2 map pack.
Huh.
They're both $4.99, so you get Scrambled Nations and Scrambled Continents. I don't know what that means though.
It's basically a game map type, a randomization type. I think they also have scenarios attached. But yeah, I'm not gonna buy it. Obviously, I usually play Earth anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I really like the Earth map.
I think if DLC exceeds more than 50% of the cost of the original game, it's kind of not worth it.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I draw the line as far as purchasing DLC goes, but more power to them for trying it out.
Yeah. In some other DLC news, Borderlands 2 has announced yet another mission pack. This one's TK Baja's Bloody Harvest, right in time for Halloween. If you guys like Borderlands, if you're still even playing that game, pick that up.
Still, that game's great. I booted that up the other day and played it. And
Really?
TK Baja is probably one of the oldest characters in the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, I think he's one of the
I
second
prefer
or
to
third
play
NPCs.
it in its original form, Diablo 2.
I like it. Gun loot is fun.
Yeah, and you got a little fun humor in there, especially where TK Baja is concerned. So I think you'll get some great dialogue out of that and a lot of laughs with your friends, definitely.
Yeah. Well, now, since you mentioned Diablo, I might as well go into that. There's a Diablo 3 expansion pack that will be available to play on the PS4 at BlizzCon.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. I'm excited for this. I have my PS4 pre-ordered. I already have Diablo 3, but I'm down to get it once I'm off my Grand Theft Auto grind.
I hope there's some new classes in this one. That would be really exciting and be enough to warrant an expansion, I think.
Yeah, I think that's really what they need is new classes.
Well, I think they actually have to make Diablo 3 decent first before that we really get into all this. Maybe this is maybe this expansion is just really the live version. We've been beta testing it for years.
Well, is it gonna be available for PC as well?
Of course.
Okay.
There's no way it's not going to be available for PC. I mean, if that happened, there would be, riots in the streets. Probably. But they would be short-lived and be full of neckbeards.
Well, and some indie game news. This recent game, The Long Dark, just had its Kickstarter, and it's clearly on its way to becoming a game. It looks really cool. Survivor. It's kind of like End of the World Survivor. Not really horror, but it looks really awesome. Alex showed me it. David Hayter of Metal Gear Solid fame joins the cast. I'm excited.
That's huge. Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see this game do really well. I mean, we've had it tried a lot in the past. I think a lot of games on Steam Greenlight have kind of had this feature. It's a really easy way to get people on board for your game. I think people have been longing for a game like this for a long time, especially when you see games like DayZ doing so well. I mean, it'd be nice
even
to
its
get...
graphical style, though, is really
it's kind of like art.
Nice.
It looks like a gorgeous game, and the fact that you gotta stand near fire to get heat and eat food and you consume calories, I'm in.
Oh, absolutely! Can't wait.
And other cool games. Why don't you tell them about this New Zealand game?
Well, a traffic game has been released in New Zealand by their transportation agency that stresses the realities of driving. And the game works basically, you play online, and if you die one time, you can never play the game again. And this is supposed to show our youth that driving is not a game and you do not get more than one life when you are playing. I'm not sure how effective this will be. I think people realize that life is different than games, but it's certainly an interesting strategy to try out, especially coming from a transportation agency of a world government, you know?
Oh, wow.
I mean, if it works, it works, and I will take back my words, but
Hey, I'd love to try it. Sounds fun.
I mean, you don't just try it. You play it once, and then you
Yeah.
You live it.
You get one try. So we got some NVIDIA news. NVIDIA recently introduced a new tech called the G-Sync. It's intended to eliminate monitor refresh rates. What do you think of that with this, Alex? You think this
Well,
is...
what it's meant to do is eliminate issues with refresh rates, like say if you don't have vertical sync on at times, you can get cutting. If the frame rate and the refresh rate are too far apart, you start to get cutting and lines in the screen and things like that. It's going to effectively, they say, eliminate that, which would be nice, and with very little, the user having to do very little on their end.
Do you know how this differs from VSync?
I think from vertical sync, what it is, this is a hardware solution, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah, this
okay.
is a hardware solution that
Cool.
that they've set up.
That'd be great, because screen tearing is a huge issue with a lot of games, especially as we get more and more indie titles coming out who don't really have the time to stress test this kind of stuff and do the Q&A and bug reports. I think it'll be great if NVIDIA can just solve this issue for everyone ahead of time.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, cut it off at the pass.
In other NVIDIA news, of course, they introduced Game Streak. It is meant to be a streaming solution for GPUs. What do we know about this?
It's somewhat connected to the NVIDIA Shield.
Oh, so maybe streaming PC games to
Yeah,
the Shield?
that's what it essentially would be.
That sounds
to
very
devices.
interesting.
I'm
That
not sure about the rest of the particulars, but I know that's the basis of it.
definitely keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, if it works well, I'm sure we'll use it here in the group of
Yeah,
Gamers R Us.
definitely.
We do a lot of streaming, so that would be useful to make that easier for us. Thanks, NVIDIA. Please work hard.
GameSpot has announced some well, they didn't announce them actually. They were leaked. GameSpot leaked their Black Friday ads. Some of the deals include Battlefield 4 for only $30. In this game, that'll be out for what, like a half a month by that point. PlayStation Plus will be $30 as opposed to $50, and the Elder Scrolls Anthology will only be $40. There's a lot more to go along with that, but that Elder Scrolls Anthology, I might have to pick that up.
Well, what does that include? Does that include like the older ones like Daggerfall and things like that?
I believe it goes from Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim.
Really? Was Daggerfall ever on a console?
No.
This is for PC.
Oh,
yeah,
it's just for
none
PC.
of this was on PC.
Yeah, this is
sorry, it
only
was
for
on console.
PC. Sorry, I
great.
should
As
have
a PC gamer, I'm
specified
excited.
that. And let's get into we'll end it with the bad news because we got some good stuff coming up later in the show. Watch Dogs has been delayed until spring 2014. It's supposed to be a launch title for next gen consoles. It's supposed to be a big benchmark, like great game. It is pushed back for all and every console. I'm disappointed.
They're just gotta sync it up with the PC release date. That's all.
Do you think that they're kind of intimidated of Grand Theft Auto right now, and then Assassin's Creed right after it? There's a lot of these open world games. You think that people,
Well,
stick
Assassin's
to
Creed is
the
their own IP though.
that? So is Grand Theft Auto, and this is an unknown IP.
I mean, sorry, it's Ubisoft's own IP.
Oh yeah, that too. So why
I
take
mean,
sales away?
I'm not sure whether that's the reason. I think it might just be more a technical deal.
Honestly, with these open world games, we've seen them time and time again. GTA 5 just proved us that it's really difficult, and I think that they want to avoid similar issues. I mean, if you were around a few years back, you probably remember a game called All Points Bulletin.
Oh, God, yeah.
It was the same idea.
God,
and
that's a
that
mess.
game went off the map by about 2 weeks after release.
Yeah, that
I think
was
now it's
horrendous.
re-released as a free-to-play model with a cash shop, but it's really tough to get those type of games to work, and I think that Watch Dogs wants it to get it right the first time, and I can't fault them for that. I'll wait a few more weeks if that's what it takes, or months even.
Yeah, definitely.
If they deliver a quality product, it's better to wait.
Yeah, I don't mind the wait. this
Good
point.
things come to those who wait.
I mean,
Yeah.
we waited for Bioshock Infinite, and that was a great game. So.
Yeah, there.
It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't great. It's good. Pretty
Don't
good.
even start, Alex, on that one.
This is the news session, Alex. News, not critique.
So there's a few shutdowns this week. Warhammer Online is to finally shut down for good. Meh.
I guess they were ready to shut down.
It was time to shut down.
We're sorry if you really love that game, but I think your time has come.
Sony Entertainment Online also intends to discontinue Magic the Gathering Tactics. I've never even played that at all, so
Yeah, I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and I had not heard of this game until it popped up on our news network, so I guess that's all right, too.
not a big deal. In some shocking, well, but not so shocking news, 2K Marin, creators of Bioshock 2 in the Bureau XCOM, are gutted and shut down. They are folding in on themselves. Hopefully the employees got spread out. What do you think about this, Alex?
A lot of layoffs. There
Lot
were
of
a
layoffs.
lot of layoffs. They're done. Unfortunately, the XCOM game was just an utter disaster.
Nobody bought it. I didn't.
Well, I mean, I played it. It was just crap. But, I mean, it was good for about 20% of the time. The 80% it was just total garbage.
Oh, well, like I said, we have good news. Tell them what's coming up next.
Well, when we return, we'll be talking about The Wolf Among Us, the new game from Telltale, which we're all extremely stoked about. But first, here's a message from our partner, Replayed, and then you'll see some trailers for Zelda, the new one, and Path of Exile.
All right.
Please stay tuned.
This is gonna have to get edited.
Perhaps just a little. Uber real.
Thank you.
Well, I got my work tomorrow morning.
Video game console goes on the fritz, you never hear the end of it. Put an end to the nagging and put them back in the game. Give us a call. We fix a variety of common problems on most popular models, whether your dog's chewed through the power cord or the power won't turn on at all. Our dependable, experienced team will help get you, your kids, back in the gaming seat in no time. Bring your broken system in today.
Hello, Commander. A new enemy now threatens the future of mankind. Intelligence sources indicate a rogue organization with a separate, misguided agenda is undermining XCOM field operations. These acts cannot go unpunished. Your previous directive to preserve all human life on Earth has been rescinded. You are to use all available resources to locate and eliminate these traitors.
Peggy 18.
I've been away, but I couldn't tell you where. The city has changed. I've changed. Time's moved on. The powers have shifted. New breeds replaced the old. But to remain free in the city of chains, that is still the greatest prize. If you got a job for me, let's hear it.
Are you sure you're up to it? Okay, so here's the gig. I've got a whole list of people with shinies worth stealing, and you've got a city to reacquaint yourself with.
Northcrest Manor. Somewhere in here rests the Baron's precious heirloom. The heart of the lion. First I stole to survive. Then I survived to steal. It is all I know and all I will ever know. This is the painting I'm looking for. Let's see if you're hiding any secrets behind there. All this time I thought the Baron didn't have a heart, and here it is. I need to get out of here.
Not even you can evade the watch.
Time to vanish. The Graven mob certainly left their mark. Crossing the bridge is going to be tricky. There is no reward without risk. The challenge is everything.
Welcome to the feature of the week, presented by Gamers R Us. This The Wolf Among Us. The Wolf Among Us is brought to us by Telltale Games, who pioneered episodic content, brought us Sam & Max, and the Walking Dead series, and The Wolf Among Us continues their excellent track record. You play as Bigby, the big bad wolf, kind of the sheriff and policeman of this fairy tale world here, alternate fairy tale world, and he is tasked in this game with solving a murder. Quite simple. But the themes brought up in this game, as well as the dialogue and just the general feel, is quite unique, and it carries on the sustained excellence of the previous games done by Telltale. Bigby has to corral characters like this, not wearing their disguise, their human disguise, and instead they're in their fairy tale form. When you get to the dialogue here is where the game is very strong. You have a time limit just like everything else, and every choice you make has an effect in the rest of the game, an effect which you will see or are intended to see over the various episodes. I am being quite a mean guy here, but need to do it. And here's the kind of the fighting engine. Well, it's not really the fighting engine. It's a series of quick time events that fights are based on. I'm using the controller here. You can just as easily use the mouse and keyboard. As you'll be able to see, the language during the fights is, they pull no punches there. Same thing with the violence. This is a very, very mature game. Do not let the art style fool you. It is a very mature game. But that's where the strength of this title comes. This is made for people who are not kids, not even teenagers, people in their mid-20s, 30s, 40s. People that appreciate a good story, and hopefully if they deliver on all 5 episodes, I believe there are 5, they'll have a very, very effective story arc that will be entirely engrossing and very memorable. As you can see here, the fighting isn't too difficult or laborious or anything. They don't seem to happen very often, especially in the first episode. I think I only ran across a few, maybe 3 at maximum. Here you go, swinging the axe, and she's gone. Nailed him, and he's down. Now here you are outside of your woodland luxury apartments. I think they use the word luxury in the most liberal terms. As you can see here, in the world, everything has a maximum rather of 4 options of interactive choice. You see here I'm opening the gate. You can look at things, pick things up, evaluate, whatever. This control scheme translates very well both into mouse and keyboard and into gamepads, so people who want to have a strict hardcore PC gaming experience can do that, or people who just want to hang out on the couch could do the same thing. As you can see here, I'm interacting with the environment around me, and my aim actually is to try and wake up this damn bloody guard. My first playthrough, I wasn't able to do it, so here I am. I'm going to start banging on this this armor here to see if it'll wake the bugger up. Obviously, for those who have played the game, there will be no success. The guy is literally out cold. But you can see the level of interactivity with the environment. It doesn't look like maybe it adds a whole lot, at least not initially, but it makes the world kind of live and breathe, even if it may not have all that initial functionality that matters. It makes the world live and breathe, and that, in a game like this, is vitally, vitally important. So I guess the big question here, should you buy it? I would recommend it. That's for sure. Our review staff recommends it. And even though we do have a recommendation, it comes with a couple of tacit warnings. First would be that episode 1's only about maybe 3 hours maximum. The violence at times can be a bit over the top. I mean, kind of comic book style violence, but definitely not for the young kiddies. And the language at times would make a sailor blush. However, with all that said, it's a fantastic game. It's got great story, it's got great characters, and the choices feel very real. We just have to see if the rest of the episodes carry on. Now, back to you guys.
Wow, Alex, that work with The Wolf Among Us was very compelling. It seems like an excellent game.
Oh, it is, man. You said it yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I for one, I loved the dialogue choices. That was the action was good, but the dialogue choices were really what makes the game.
Definitely, and the fact that it takes place in a fairy tale world with all these different characters you can relate to is awesome. I mean, even some characters you never think would be in it, like Grendel from Beowulf.
I thought it was just fantastic.
It's epic. It's like if Shrek was a film noir movie about a detective. It's like Shrek for adults, really. It's awesome, and it's a game.
It's just really cool. It's got like this alternative art thing too, where because they're like the fables don't look like the fables themselves. It's really cool to see like what Beast would look like as a man, and like what like the pig and the frog. What was the pig? Colin was the pig. One of the 3 little pigs is Colin, and like what a great character. I mean, the voice acting is amazing.
Yeah, and
I like the
art,
kid frog, man. He was a cute little guy.
The kid frog.
Oh yeah, Frog Jr. And speaking of the art, I mean, it's fantastic. It's Telltale's signature style, which when you saw it in The Walking Dead was really realistic, but with The Wolf Among Us, they're running with it and they're going crazy, and it's really paying off. I mean, these scenes look amazing. It looks like straight out of a music video for jazz or something, It's really smooth. I think definitely you don't ever notice really a visual glitch. And there's a lot of like funny things in the background, like when you're in the bar and it says like free beer tomorrow. Like it just, these little things make you really engulfed in the story. Yeah, I think it'll be much better than Walking Dead. I mean, with the exception of not having a character that's as compelling as Clementine, because Clementine from The Walking Dead was just an amazing character you'd form an emotional bond with as a child, and I don't think they can live up to that, but if they do, more power to them, and they're definitely the better game.
I'm going to say, when I played Walking Dead, the first chapter, compared to this first chapter, I like Wolf Among Us better.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think,
100%.
Alex?
Oh, I agree with you on that, for sure. The Wolf Among Us, I think they're very different games. I'm not sure it's that fair to compare them, because this is basically just a kind of a crime, you're solving
Yeah.
a series of murders.
This is true. It's more like an investigation. It's kind of it's like L.A. noir-esque mixed
It's a
with
film noir
yeah.
type of deal.
And that does a lot for it. I mean, those long shots of like the rain in the cab. Some of those shots are really good.
I guess really what we're talking about is that tying Telltale's game to The Walking Dead was holding them back, and they can really explore and go wild with this game, which is what's great about it.
Well, they used to have games before The Walking Dead. They redid Sam and Max.
Sam and Max is awesome.
That
yeah.
was really funny.
And that was a more point and click esque kind of thing though, but it had
this
the
thing
same.
is still point and click.
It definitely is. Yeah, I mean, it's true. But there's still you can miss things, and you can the way
It was
that
more
your
traditional.
yeah the way that your story can just change completely from anybody else's is really what drives it home, because every decision you make, you're like, oh crap, was that the right one? Like, am I going to regret that later?
Yeah, and on the decisions, it's really great how at the end of each chapter they tell you the decisions that you made and how everyone else made the decision, so you can compare the rest of the viewers. And also for completionists like me, it's great to look at where I have to go back and try the other options.
Mm-hmm. But overall,
It's a game that has a lot of replayability. It stresses the need to, I guess, diversify things. See what you can uncover, depending on what choices you make.
yeah, I mean, touching on what you said, I think overall it's better than Walking Dead, because it was tied to the zombie thing, and I think zombies were like kind of, beat up at this point, and this is completely different. I never even heard of Fables before this, and now I'm interested in it because it's a prequel, so you don't have to know anything. Where Walking Dead, you kind of had to know the world of The Walking Dead.
Honestly, I'm a little afraid to start reading the Fables comic books because I don't want anything given away to me for The Wolf Among Us. We've already seen some characters die, so if I see a lack of a character in Fables, it's going to point towards something, and I don't want to ruin that for myself. I'd much rather see it in the surprising video game world than on a page.
Yeah.
So, are we going to this now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take a break.
We're going to take a quick break for you. When we come back, we'll be talking about the huge debacle with Gary's Incident and Total Biscuit, which is currently on the top of Reddit and a huge video on YouTube. But first, here's a message from our partner Replayed, and then some trailers for you to see the newest games.
Hey guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just Lawrence, gotta be a little down here. They're doing the commercials.
Sorry.
It's all right.
welcome back. We are now going to talk about the Total Biscuit versus Gary's Incident problem that we've been seeing all over Reddit this week. Now, this is a huge issue that hits close to home with us as video game journalists and should with you as consumers as well. Eric, you want to give us a quick rundown of what has happened?
Yes. So, I don't know if you guys know who Total Biscuit is. He does a YouTube series, there's a YouTube channel. He's also known as the Cynical Brit, and it's called WTF is ... and the name of the game. So he did a day one Gary's Incident WTF, and it was about 30 minutes long. And in the game, he does not treat it very kindly, but I mean, it's not the best game in the world. He gave it, kind of a bad review. He doesn't give it a score at the end. He just plays the game and talks while he plays it and says what's wrong with it, which I like about his reviews. But the next day, there was a DMCA takedown of the video, saying that it was copyrighted material used without permission and it's being monetized. Anybody who has a YouTube channel, they know that 3 of these takedowns kills your whole channel, kills your whole user base, kills everyone you had, kills his livelihood. It kills the way he survives. I mean, you can make a lot of money on these things, and he does. He has a very big following. The CEO then popped all over the Steam forums and was saying how he had no right to put that up there. They never said that he could do that, and that's why it was taken down. And then a couple hours later, Total Biscuit posted another video on YouTube giving total and complete proof that he emailed the CEO of Wild Games, the creators of Day One Gary's Incident, and asked them if he could make a review on the game and post it on his YouTube channel. Obviously, he's going to have a video of the game. Obviously, he's going to review it. They sent him a Steam code and said, go ahead, put it up there. Also replying to other people on the discussion to go ahead, make YouTube videos, spread the word. As soon as word got sour, they pulled these reviews. They pulled Total Biscuit's review in particular. And then to top it all off, the CEO of Wild Games went on to Metacritic. Maybe it was somebody he hired, maybe it was his PR team, whatever. It was a horrible decision. They went on to Metacritic, which is the rating system that they use for Steam, and they posted fake reviews. These reviews had the exact same words, exact same sentences, giving the game 10s, 9s, and 8s. There was multiple of them. Obviously, they got flooded with horrible Metacritic reviews, and it now has a 0.5 out of 10 score on Metacritic. This is just it's scary for game designers. It's scary for new media in general. I mean, computers are moving way faster. Technology is moving way faster than people can write laws about it. But this was blatantly not supposed to happen. This copyright should not have been filed. And it was really it shows the amount of power that even an indie developer can cause. He can cause they can cause Total Biscuit's career to go under. Now, is this YouTube's problem, or is this the developer's problem? Was this the developer being snotty?
Just so you know, Lawrence is connected with us.
Oh.
So he's here.
Hey, Lawrence.
How's it going?
So, the question is YouTube responsible for this, or is the developer responsible for this? So did YouTube been no, he had permission, or did the dev really just go out of his way to ruin Total Biscuit's career?
YouTube gives them the ability to do it. If you give someone the ability to abuse something, they often do. I mean, look at the U.S. financial industry.
I mean,
you give them the opportunity, they'll do it.
I think that's the thing, is the opportunity is there to file this copyright. I think YouTube should definitely have something on their side where they go back and forth with each party instead of just pulling it. But by doing this, they just gave their own game negative press. It was on the top of Reddit in our games, our gaming, our all. It was on the top of Reddit. He just gave his name isn't the thing that no press is bad press? Isn't that what it's supposed to be? He should have let it stay and ignored it, and now he's getting ruined. Nobody's gonna buy this game.
Yeah, and honestly, looking outside of the game in general, Total Biscuit actually mentions in his YouTube video that this has happened with a lot of other game companies, and it seems to be a much wider problem spread than we thought. Before, when Total Biscuit had done videos on Pokemon X and Y, he only had about a minute of gameplay footage, and the rest was him all speaking about current games in a news hour, and they actually pulled every video that had Pokemon X or Y in it on the YouTube thing until their own video, Nintendo's own video for Pokemon X and Y, was the top search criteria. So they're basically...
Nintendo's a major offender.
Yeah, they're basically just using these copyright claims to shut down other videos so that they can be at the top of searches. And if they can do that sort of thing, there's really no limit to what they can do as far as bleeding out any sort of press they don't want to see.
Okay, let's look at this from Lawrence. You make games, okay? Now, if you had a game out there and you got some bad criticism, would you seek out the person who did it or seek out the host of their website?
Honestly, I think I'd be a bit more smarter in doing this and just not. If you make a crappy game, I really believe you're just going to have to take the criticism as it comes and learn from it. What this guy did and what the developers did is actually speaking to another bigger topic. Is with developers, sometimes their pay or their bonuses come from the sales of the game. Mm-hmm. If it does good, you get a bit extra in your paycheck.
Or the Metacritic scores.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
True. So,
just like with the Metacritic scores. So, if I can, the flip side to this argument is because Metacritic is, by a bunch of the public, and because of YouTube and where you can say anything, a lot of the developers have I think, a certain level of fear of, and I can't think of a better word for this, trolling. But if someone from YouTube has a channel, very popular, but let's just say he's a bit more biased in his opinions on certain games than others. If that does bad and if people, follow his opinion, and that's a little bit of extra money out of the developer's pocket because sales were doing a bit more poorly. At least that's some of the mindsets of some of these companies.
But if they know who Total Biscuit, they know full well what they were giving him the right to do. They knew exactly. He explained it in the email. I mean, you have people who live off this, like Zero Punctuation, who just rat on games. Total Biscuit doesn't rat on every game he plays. A lot of the games he loves, and I will then buy it. I mean, Papers, Please. I saw it on there. I was like, give me that. I want that. Like, he clearly does not do this to every game. This game was deserving of the negative criticism.
I get what Lawrence is saying, though, because there's a lot of reviewers out there. Anyone can basically start a game reviewing company these days. As long as you have access to a website and a place to post these things, it can happen. And a lot of these reviewers aren't the most professional types of people, or they'll even make a living off of hating on games. I can see where he's coming from, and I think that sort of culture has had a big backlash with a lot of game developers. You'll see people like, if you watch Indie Game the Movie, the creator of Fez, he hates the sort of feedback and the hatred.
Well,
he
he's
gets
also
at
a
these
narcissist.
companies.
So.
But you can't put works out there and not expect criticism on them.
Well, that's exactly
the problem.
The thing.
Is the criticism is affecting a person's paycheck.
And so is him taking down a copyright on Total Biscuit's website. He's affecting his paycheck. If you make a game and it's not good, and somebody says your game is not good, it's not a slight at him. He already got paid to make the game. It's being honest. It's being an honest journalist. What should he have done? Said, this is a great game. Everybody buy it.
Thing. Don't get me wrong. He did the right thing. I'm not saying anything wrong about what Total Biscuit did. I'm just saying with the situation, it's bringing up the topic of how this mistrust is growing between reviewers, whether you're professional or just starting out, and the developers. This just shows that some developers are starting to get desperate and just having these tactics that is bad for both sides.
Well, let's look at why they're becoming desperate. I mean, all of these milestones are set up by the publishers and unless it's an indie company. But if you look at a larger game, a lot of these milestones are set up by the publishers. They're the ones that are screwing people over. I mean, basically, what you have here is a traditional tug and pull, and you have a new form of media coming out, and with this, there's going to always be, issues with, sensationalism and not telling the truth and all that. I mean, hell, tabloids are still around.
Yellow journalism.
That's exactly it.
It was the problem is though, everybody universally panned this thing, and he was the only one who had a video taken down.
Yeah, because his was the most popular.
There were other videos
Exactly.
that really
His was
trash
most
talked the
popular.
video or the game and had a lot of popularity, but those weren't taken down.
Yeah.
They even had really offensive titles and stuff. I find it really strange that he chose to single out Total Biscuit among all these other people.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, I think the main issue we find here is that YouTube really does need a better way to figure out how to take down content for copyrights. They need dialogue from both sides. Now, thank you for joining us, Lawrence. That's all the time we have here tonight. From Gamers R Us, where gaming is everything, we hope you have a good week, and we'll see you here next week.
Right.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
See you guys. See you, Alex. Thank you.
See you guys.